Good afternoon, tutor. First of all, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity of letting me be part of this debate. And I want to describe my position towards the topic. And basically, I believe that education nowadays, and especially in Colombia, is very difficult to make a change nowadays. Since beforehand, we need to change is basically the culture, and that's very difficult to do. Right here, we're not used to have that particular mentality in which students are needed to be studying. Right now, because of the social impact that we have in our country, it is very difficult for our students, more than that, for our children to be all of them to be basically in a school atmosphere due to many issues that we have in our society. Okay, the first question goes as following. Is the traditional education good and productive? Well, nowadays, we have to think about the technology is advancing very much, so it's very difficult to keep on teaching in a traditional way, since all these electronic devices that we have nowadays and all the social media also plays a very huge impact in the way that we should teach our students nowadays. Basically, technology nowadays we have to use it in our classroom because that's what is as letting the students improve their knowledge. And we have to think about a global world right now. We cannot be behind and let the other countries have the opportunity to have better students. So we have to go according of the development that is going on in our social environment. Okay, the second question goes as following. Can we just avoid using traditional teaching method? Well, in this case, we have to manage a way to have that interaction between students and teachers. It's very important to have that collaborative environment for our students to share opinions, to hear different expressions, to hear different knowledges, and to be part of a community. So in this case, I believe that we have to keep on having both. We cannot live like the 100% traditional method way, and we have to implement whatever's going on around the world right now. So both ways we have to manage a way to interlap those two different methods, teaching methods, in order for our students to get knowledge. So I believe that is very important to mix both methods, traditional method and whatever is going on in the currently method as well. I also believe that we cannot leave like books behind, which is part of the traditional method. That interaction between books and yourselves are very important as well. Right here we can enhance many abilities, such as the comprehension, the analysis, basically everything that is traditional is very important for us as well to keep in a certain percentage. So I believe both things should be mixed. Okay, the third question goes as following. How would you implement or make a revolution in the way you teach your students? Well, in this case, I just want to think, it's very important basically to think about our students, as the question says. We have to think about them. We have to think about how are they going to be managing their lives. So that's the number one thing that we have to think about it. And we have to guide them into the best options as possible. So we have, first of all, we need to know the student, and in order to know the students, we need to speak to them. And in order to make a small revolution, well, we have to guide them. We have to guide them basically on their preferences. What do they like? So we need to know the student, and this way we can guide them into the best possible way that we can think of, that we think is the best for them, and to know their likes and to know their preferences. What do they want to be in life? So we need to focus on the student. Basically, that's the number one thing that we need to think about. Now, the fourth question goes as following. How would you expand that revolution in your school, your city, and your country? Well, right here, as I said before, we have to think about the student. And by thinking about this student, if we make this effort successfully, well, from then on, we can expand our teaching methodology. So first of all, we need to start with something small. with a small population. In this case would be just one person, which is the student. So I think that by helping the student throughout their process and making sure that they think about their objectives, so by helping them and to see that at the end we're going to have a successful person, well, right here we're making something small, but at the end we're going to be connecting a lot of things. So from here we can expand our teaching methodology into different ways. Okay, as a reflection, I just want to point out what the image that I'm showing on my screen, and with the great talk of Mr. Ken Robinson, which is called "Do Schools Kill Creativity?" So I believe it's 100% true. And right now the schools think about standardized exams, and they're not thinking about the children themselves. So in some point of their studies, we are starting to change their mentalities to this particular exams. So it's very, very important that we start thinking about the person more than what we want to build. So right now, everything, as I said before, is related and is more focused into a standardized exam when we think about it. In Colombia, we have the EFEX. In the United States, we have the SATs, and those are standardized exams. And at some points, by between 4th or 5th grade, we start changing their mentality and start teaching them topics. We're not being objective here. So I truly believe that teaching nowadays is killing creativity from the students. Whatever they're born with, whatever they like, at some point we're changing this mentality. And I recommend this video from TED Talks, and it's once again from Mr. Ken Robinson, "The Schools Kill Creativity." It is very good, and I recommend it to you, teacher. Thank you very much for listening to me, and have a great week.